Hi guys, so good morning, or I guess by the time you see this it'll be afternoon because we have a different lunch this morning, so for tonic, but I am going to work with the WRMK explosion board today because people had requested the squash card. I don't know if you want to call it a squash card. We used to do folds like this back in the day, and they were like napkin folds, or they had different names, so I don't know what people, but it sounds like people call it squash cards now. And super easy thing to do. Hopefully you saw it obviously in the intro there, how that works. So any links I have in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. So thank you guys so much for using those. What I want to do is design it so it's easy to do on the explosion board. So you can make your squares. You're going to start off with 3 squares. They're going to be scored a bit. In my mind, I thought, well, I'll just do 4-inch squares because we all know that this first line, the extra small that we've talked about in different videos, not the lid line, but the extra small, is a 2-inch line. And the biggest line, the score line that is a nice round number, is like the extra large, which is 4 inches. But we also need to make sure that this cross line here, unless we flip the paper again, maybe that will be how we get around that. It's only so big, you know what I'm saying? So your paper can really only be about to here, so you can get that diagonal line. But again, you can get around things like that different ways. Obviously, if you have a different scoreboard, that's a whole other thing. But usually what I do is I'll angle my paper like this to get the diagonal line. And then I make sure it's really nice and straight so I can keep following one of the straight lines, making it diagonal, right? So let me look at this and let me see. And this is how I make things up right, as I go along. I need my ruler, which is normally just sitting here. Where are you? I'll be right back. Hide in plain sight behind my marquee. Okay. So from here to like the very end of this guy. Yeah, and that's what I was thinking, 4-inch squares, but it's gonna be so tiny. So if we make 4-inch squares, when we go to make, our score lines of 2 inches, the square is only going to be this big, and that's how big your swatch card is going to be. So let me think about this. I want them to be a little bit bigger. Let's see where else we can easily fold this. And hopefully this makes sense. If you're not familiar with squash cards, maybe this doesn't make sense. But hopefully, how about 3? Because there's a nice line at 3 inches. And then we'll just flip it like I had mentioned earlier. So if we did 3, that means we need 6-inch squares. So we need 4 6-inch squares. Let's do that. So apparently the other line that's kind of an even number is number 3, which is medium. I was going to write this on here, to be honest. I was going to take a Sharpie or a nice, alcoholic marker, and I already know this is 2 and this is 4, so a medium is 3, just about. As you can see, it's a little bit different than 3, because 3 would be right here and it's like over there. But I'm gonna get cut down some black paper because I just want the base of the card to be black. 3 6-inch squares, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm cutting my last square, and if you're working with 12 by 12 paper, this is not a paper waster, but if you're using 8.5 by 11 like I am, this is that thick Hobby Lobby paper, the heavy cardstock in black, you need 3 different sheets. So obviously we use black paper for lots of things, so it's not like I'm not going to use those pieces, but it is a little excessive. I have all these pieces here now because, it's only 11 inches long and 8.5 the other way, so to get 6 inches, you have to do it that way. So hopefully this is making sense. And the reason I do things like this and I walk you guys through, or like I say, okay, this is what I'm thinking, because that way when you're off of here and you want to make a smaller one or a larger one, you kind of have an idea of what you need to do or add up, or, if I want a 3-inch score mark, that means my paper has to be 6 inches because the squares are going to be 3 inches after we score it. So, if you want the 4 one, then you need to make 8-inch squares, and then you'll know how to work it out yourself when we're done here, because I'm just going to show a basic one. So we have our 6-inch squares, and let's get our little built-in guy here. I've heard from a lot of you guys, you've already tied your explosion board, you love it, so that's really great. I'm really happy with this one. Okay, 6-inch squares. We're going to score at the medium line, which is 3 inches, or just about. So that's the other thing. If you want to use some of these other lines, just measure to it and then double that. So if it's 2 3/4 or whatever this one might be, then you're going to need 5.5, right? So inch squares or whatever. Some of these other ones are weird numbers. They're not really that round. So, and then I'm going to turn it. All right, sorry, we scored it. I'm going to turn it and score it at the medium line again. Okay, I'm not going to do any creasing quite yet. So now we're going to put it in the corner, and we want to just do 1 diagonal line. So I'm going to feel this out. And be careful, like I said, take your time with this, because what can happen is you could slip. So it's very easy to slip on the diagonal if you're just trying to go real quick, you know. So that's as far as I took it. I'm just going to turn it back to the other corner and do the same. Just meet it up. And now we got around that issue of only having this much space for diagonal, okay? And here we are. So we're going to fold these on these lines, but for now I'm just going to put this to the side, and I'm going to fold up these other two. Not fold up, score the other two just like we did. So, you know, ooh, that one's not very square, is it? Look at that. Look at the way it's fitting in there. I did not measure that very well. Okay, well, we'll start with this one. So again, medium, turn the other way, medium, and then only one diagonal. It doesn't matter if it's on one side or the other. It's just, you just need one diagonal, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, so I have it facing this way, and like I said, that 3-inch line is a little bit of not quite 3, so that's why it's a little bit off, but it'll be fine because I'm not going to score like really hard until we're done, so it'll be perfect. Don't worry about that. Okay, so all we're going to do on this one is just fold on the lines. Now, do you want to decorate it now? You're going to put your little squares. Everything that you see on the front, whatever you choose to be the front, is going to be showing. So, you know, I like to decorate things when things are flat. Sometimes I like to decorate them when they're put together. So I probably won't decorate when it's, well, maybe we'll wait till it's put together. Okay, so either way, if you wanted to put some matte squares in here, obviously these are 3-inch squares. You know, maybe a 2 1/4-inch square matte, or 2 7/8 if you want to make it really fine. And then for these guys, I always take the square down a little bit and then I cut it at a diagonal. That way it mats in really nicely, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. So let's just fold on the score lines. Again, I'm not really bone folding or anything like that. I'm just folding them. Okay. You can see, how can you see it's a little bit here because of that, this being a little bit less than 3. I don't even know. It's like just on the 3, but not quite. I wish I had just planned it so that it would be an even number, but it's not. Okay, so we already scored everything, and then what we're doing is we're pushing these guys in. Push, push, push. And it just wants to do it automatically. It's very origami-ish. This is the kind of thing you do to make that little balloon, which is super cute. You guys have done those? Adorable. And then you fold these guys, and anyway, it's similar to this. So right now that I have it in my hand, like I said, it's a little bit off. It's a little bit wonky as far as, you know, you want to squish it down. What I would do is push back there and now give it a nice crease. Now bone fold it because everything's together and it's nice and flat. And it pops open like that, okay? And so the reason we need 3 is we're going to layer 3 of these together. So I'm going to do the exact same thing for the other 2, just fold them up and have them ready, and I'll be right back. This is Freeform Friday. Sorry guys, this is Freeform Friday. So we're freeforming whatever it is that we want to do here. Again, whatever size you want to do, just, you know, I suppose the score line, the diagonal, you know how I was able to extend it by turning it? It can't really be extended much more than double this. Does that make sense? Because once you turn it, you're only going to be able to go here. And when you turn it, you still can go to here, and that's about it. So I would say an 8-inch square is about as big as you can get on here, which would make sense because you have the 8-inch square, you score at 4 inches on both sides, and then you do your diagonal. And now you're going to have a 4-inch like squash card base that you can decorate. So, all right, at least that's on that board. Every other board that's bigger than this, obviously you can do more. Okay, so we have our 3 pieces here, and you know, it seems like whenever I do Freeform Friday, unless I have some kind of new item that I'm going to be using just to try it out, in this case it would be like an explosion box board, whatever they call it, it seems to be kind of like a busted out on its own. A lot of times it'll be something I already have. So I just went through my paper stash again. I've been destashing and doing stuff like that. Not quite yet. Nothing's in my store yet, but will be. I have this My Mind's Eye paper pack. I don't know when I bought this. Probably at an expo or something, but maybe it's from not TJ Maxx, what's Tuesday Morning? I don't know. Why does this have cutouts? I just noticed that. Oh, you know, those like baby pins. Maybe I used them or something. It has this paper, and I really like this paper, and I thought it'd be cute with the black. And then they have like this gingham or checkered paper. I think that's really cute. So I'm going to pull those papers out, and I'm going to use the checkered one as the centers, the full centers, and then I'm going to use this one as the little diagonal square. Oh, so pretty. This one on my mind. Oh, look at that one. Well, I wanted to use the red one, but that's really pretty. Let me find the red one here. It must be on the back of some things. I don't see it so easily. Anyway, I'll pull the red one out. So I'm going to make my squares. I'm not quite sure exactly what size I want to do the little ones that are going to make the triangles, the ones that are going to be nested in here. So I'll cut these at, I don't know if I want 2 3/4 or 2 7/8. I like them to be really, really on the line. Let's do 2 7/8 squares, and I'll be right back. Okay, as I'm cutting, I thought I'd check in with you guys. So we're gonna need 4 of the squares that are going to be just basic squares. Kind of interesting the way this one cut because it left that little extra. I don't like it. It's just the way the paper is with that check mark, you know, that little strip right there. I guess I could have done something different. Look at the back of the papers though. Oh my gosh, this paper pack is gorgeous. Oh, love it. So we need 4 of the full-size squares. So I went 2 7/8 inch square because I like the way that looks when you mat it in here. It almost fills up the square and leaves a little bit of black border. So that's what I like. So for these guys, I'm doing 2 3/4 inch squares for the diamonds or triangle areas. So I already cut the whole strip at 2 3/4 inches. I just want to show you what I'm doing. So, and we need 6 of these, 6 sets of triangles. So I do that, and then I just take my paper and I turn it to the angle here, and I just really make sure it doesn't move, and then it's right on there. If you have a really big scissor, you can also just go whoop, but that's a little trickier. And now, look at that. I love this paper, so pretty. You know, they mat in here really nicely, and the reason they're different sizes is because that's just how it works out. Excuse me. I've done other videos of tutorials who talk about this. Whenever I do squares that need to be cut in half to like mat into little triangles like this, I always take it down like 1/8 of an inch from the one before, which if this is 2 7/8 inch squares, and these are 2 3/4 inch squares. So if these were 2 3/4 inch squares, I would do these at 2 5/8. You know, just take it down a little bit because that mats better. I'm telling you right now, if it was the bigger square and you just cut it in half, it doesn't mat right because it'll leave an edge here, but it'll be really close to this edge, because it has that much more paper, you know, so it just doesn't look as good. So you do want to take a little bit off so that you can get that little separation there. Okay, I will finish cutting these, and you know what, while I'm at it, I'll probably, no, I'm not going to glue anything. Oh, yes I am. I'm going to go ahead and glue the rectangles, or the triangles, because I kind of want them to be in pairs, like the one I just cut in half. It looks nice to keep those together, and I don't want to have piles of these later and not know who goes to what. So I will glue these down, just with glue. Obviously, just put some glue, stick them down, okay? Only those. I'll come back because we're going to talk about this in a minute. Look how pretty they look, just waiting for to be set up here. I was just thinking about it with Freeform Friday, like I forgot to mention at the top, it's Freeform Friday. I was like, did I do it last week? I don't remember even talking about it. I don't remember thinking about it, and it just came and went, and then I went and looked at my videos. I'm like, no, I guess not. But I think I did another explosion board. I have no idea why it didn't even register to me to do a Friday video. I had put out 2 other videos that day, but I was like, I have no idea what happened. And also, thank you guys so much. 20,000 subscribers here. That is really, really, just thank you guys. I really appreciate it. I guess any success I have is because of you all, and I am just really super appreciative for any opportunity, you know, your comments, your kind words, just watching, you know, your likes, your dislikes. It's all good. It's all good. Thank you guys so much. And if you're new to my channel, again, my name is VianneyCreates, and you know, we just get creative here and have fun. No fuss around here. All right, so that's that one. And I put the glue on the thing, and then I put my squares, my triangles. Why do I keep saying the wrong shape? Down, and that's just what it is. Okay, so with these guys, what we're supposed to do is layer them up like this. Now, what was I gonna say about that? I don't know if I want to do it that way or in this way. Probably just so that they're both on top and one in the back. I guess you could layer them like this. Maybe that's nicer looking. I don't think it really matters, to be honest, but do what you like. That one doesn't fit as well. And see, you know, we did this handmade, and, you know, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, well, maybe it is better to put these guys on top. Kind of odd, right? Because you have to kind of look at that and see what it is that you want to do. Also, this is this long. It has like 3 with the 4. You know, if you only want to do a little card that does this, then just do 2. It's up to you, whatever you like. So I'm gonna put glue on here just to get this in here. And of course there are score lines and things that are gonna keep everything from not coming in too close together. You can only put it so far in. And if you're afraid of doing this, or this is the first time like I am right now, kind of scared of having used this glue because this glue sticks really fast, you know, just do what you can. Obviously that back piece is in the back, so you're not going to see it as much. So you just want to make sure that when you fold, everything's going to be okay. Right? Okay, and I'll do the same thing gluing down the other one, and I'll be right back. I thought, well, you know what? I don't know why I took a pause there. I guess I figured maybe you guys might want to see this. So again, I'm just putting the glue, and we're going to add this guy on. And we're going to let this set up pretty well before we mess with this because we have to do one last squashing to arrange this right. And I'm looking at the back. I'm just trying to see that it's matched up in here, but also that it looks nice from the front. You know, you don't want it to be nice in the back, but then the front looks a mess or something. And while I'm here, since we're just waiting for this, I will adhere these guys. Just in our little, just in here. So that I will, you know, take a pause, but we're just going to glue these on here. Wow, that's a lot for the eyes. All right, I will be right back. We have our last piece, and I went ahead and turned two of these the other way, just so your eye has something to rest on, because it was kind of a lot of pattern. So maybe this helps, maybe it doesn't. I have the wood going that way on this one. I'm gonna have it going the other way, just for funsies. But these can be pictures, you know, obviously whatever it is that you want to layer in here. You can do the mattes and then matte pictures, you know, however you want to do it. So we're not decorating the back at all until we add like a card base kind of to this, or you just leave it like this and decorate the one that ends up in the front. So now we have it here. You know, I gave them all a squish, right? So they're all the same. One of them could have been turned out because this middle guy, he's gonna have to turn a different way, but I'll show you that right now. So when you go to close this, it doesn't work, right? It's like a mess because these guys will fold in. That's great. But now what about this other guy? You know, he can't fold in. So this one has to fold backwards. That's it. You're still decorating the same. It's all the same. It's just that now we have to train this guy to go back. And then these guys can go forward again. Okay? I know that was kind of a lot. Now we can squish this with the bone folding. You know, I don't really care about that part right now. But this is what we have. And that's why I was not wanting to do the smaller size with 2-inch squares, because you can imagine it would be this big. It's really small, which is fine, but I mean, it's just, let's make something a little more sizable. So 3-4 inches, I think that's cute. So basically, again, a 6-inch square base or an 8-inch square base is probably good. And then when the person opens it, it does this and it looks all awesome. And then it's already trained up. Hopefully, I mean, when they open it, they don't do it flat, but when you go to close it again, now that we've trained it, it's going to close how you want. Again, cute stuff, little message, happy birthday, whatever it is you're going to do. It's right there. And the back looks nice and neat too. I mean, if you want to decorate the back, I guess you can. You can do the whole thing, but I'm just showing you a basic technique here so you can freeform it yourself. Okay, so now we have this front and the back that aren't decorated. Now you can just mat this up and make it cute. You can add another card layer that's a little thick, that's going to be a little bit bigger, you know, just to give it a little more oomph. And that way when the person opens it, it's easy to grab, right? The outer layer is just going to want to open up, which is what I think I'm going to do, but it's going to be barely bigger than this 4-inch square, or 3-inch square, sorry. So I'll do 3¼ squares. But let me grab basically that leftover black paper. I'm still going to do black, and then I'll do 3-inch squares for matting over that. I'll be right back. Okay. So again, when you give this to somebody, it's just going to want to do that kind of thing, right? So we'll talk about that in just a minute. We'll do something for that. How do I want to do this? I'm trying to think how I want to do this. Because of what I just mentioned, we do need to kind of keep this closed somehow. And then, you know, how do you want to orient it when you do put your cover on? I did choose this paper because I think it's really cute, and then I'll dress it up, obviously, so it'll look nicer because right now it's very dark. We're going to put that right on top, right there. And I'm just trying to think, do I want to trap that underneath? No, I think we'll let it go on top. Okay. I'm trying to think how I want to do this the best way. To add like a ribbon or a twine or something to help you close it. Oh, maybe we can, okay, okay. Let's just put these together and we'll talk about that in just a minute. So again, I have 3¼ inch squares. And I did this a 3-inch square. I should have done 3 1/8 to be honest, but that's okay. So we're gonna put this on here. Now, when you go to trap something on here or put like a twine or a ribbon or just make a belly band, you can make, oh, that'd be really cute actually. Make a little belly band. Just a strip of paper that's, you know, 3 inches by maybe, give it a good 1/2 inch around here on both sides. So that's already 4 inches plus another 3 inches. That's 7 inches. And then you need a tab to close it up. I give myself another maybe 1/2 inch tab. So 7.5 inches, and you score it, you know, so that it's appropriate for this. And then you have a little belly band. I think that'd be cute. But for today, we're gonna make it quick and easy. So let me just do that one. Let me do this one. Oh yeah, let's use some twine because I have some cute red twine. I think that'll coordinate really well. And so we have these. And again, it's a square, so it doesn't really matter how you put this on here, but we're gonna put them on. I'm gonna do one layer at a time because I don't want to make it super crooked. Now that's just because that's how I'm doing it. You don't have to do it. Like I said, you can just decorate this by itself and be done with it. The basic square. But I am going to eyeball this and put a nice little card mat behind it. It's hard for me to see this back corner. Oh, you guys, I finally went yesterday to get my eyes checked. Oh, they have been so bad. And sure enough, this is the first time. Yeah, I need reading glasses. Well, I'm nearsighted since like forever. And I always go, every time I go to the eye doctor, I'm always like, I can't see up close. So I'll take my glasses off and I'll hold things really close to my face is what I prefer to do. And they're like, oh no, your vision's perfect. Because they, you know, test you out here where you're supposed to be and it's fine. Like right now, I'm looking at my hand, it's clear, it's great. But I don't like that. So yesterday she's like, oh yeah. And it's going to get worse and worse and worse until it levels off, you know, as you age. And I'm like, oh yes, well, I already knew that because I used to work for optometrists and obviously we all know that. But seems like when you turn 40, that's when it just hits you. And then my husband had that eye surgery a long time ago, and apparently it's slipping, but for him it's not that he can't see up close, he just is a little fuzzy at distance now again. And you're supposed to have upkeep on those kind of surgeries, which is kind of annoying. Okay, so I'm just going to put that down, and I'm going to eye where this should be, just so it's kind of straight for now. I'm kind of looking through to make sure it's the same as the one underneath. Are about the same. So yeah, so I'm really happy. So I picked out a couple glasses. They're progressive lenses. You know, I'm not going to wear bifocals with a line in them. At least not yet. So we'll see what happens. I might have to end up just wearing contacts to look cooler and then just reading glasses when I need them, right? Anyhow, I hope you're all doing well with your vision. It was getting really bad. I was like, I cannot, you know, I'm coloring for you guys and I'm up here and I'm coloring. I'm like, am I even in the right spot? Like, it's so bad. So I'm glad, happy to have gone. All right. So now we have a front and a back. It looks cute, right? It's just a little edge you'll see on this inside part. No big deal. Okay. I guess I could give you some weight on this. I don't really need to, but I'm gonna put this out of this way for just a second. And I'm gonna look in this pack and see if there's anything cute in here that I would like to use. I think this is all paper. There might be some stickers in here. And then we have these things. Oh, how cute. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, let me look through this. If you're curious, I don't think it's called Miss Caroline. I don't know that they still make this. These are stickers. Oh, look at this. Chipboard. Not chipboard, but wood. Okay, let me look through all this and see if something works for the... Oh, that is adorable. Aw, love my boy. That's so sweet. I mean, all these pieces, a lot of them are too big for what I need. And then we have a couple pieces of this. What's bummer, actually, that kind of works for me. Okay, let me look at this stuff. I'll be right back. I just realized I did the flowers. So this paper pack is it's called Miss Caroline. It does have a lot of boy stuff. Really sweet. And that's probably why I picked it up, because I was a boy mom for a long time before Miranda came around. Let me think. 14 years, 15 years. I'm still going to use the red twine, even though this twine from Hobby Lobby has a lot of pretty colors in it. I think the black and white would look cute. So many of these would look cute. And then I'm just going to sticker to hold it down. So whatever it is that you want to top this with, or however you want to do it, just look at this and see how much you need. How long do you need this to be? Let's be generous, because it's hard sometimes to close things up when you only have very little. Not too generous though, because I also don't want it hanging out too much. Okay. And I think, what a cute paper pack. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna put this here. You only want to tie it or stick it down in the front. That's why I was kind of debating, do I want to layer it between what we did here and the actual base of the squash card? But you know, a lot of it would be down in there, and that's fine. And then the back, it wraps around. So if you want to do that, that's fine. If you want to stick it in between, you know, the little card front that we made, or however you want to do it. But basically, you just don't want it to be stuck in the back, because then the person can't open it, right? It only opens like this if you're sticking it from the front and the back. So it's just stick it down in the front, or just stick it down in the back, I guess. That's another, just in one place. That's all I'm trying to say. So let's say it's here, and let's say I'm going to take this guy. He's nice and thick and chipboardy feeling. And, you know, I'm just going to eyeball this. Oh, this is tricky. I should probably stick it first. Cute. So that worked. But if you had a little topper, obviously you can glue it down. You can put it down in there however you want. And then we have these other little, I was thinking the Great Adventures, Fearless, Love My Boy. These are so cute. And look at them. I mean, these little pieces would fit in here really well, you know. You have Courage, Strength, Valor, Bravery. Put your little picture, put your little sticker. What a sweet set. I kind of want to use Great Adventures. And maybe what I'll do is add some pics in this and send it to my mom or something. I don't know. We do have a lot of Great Adventures. And I don't know if I should put it here. Yeah. Oh, that just fits perfectly. It's almost as if they designed it to work with each other so well. All right. And that's all I'm going to do. So real easy. And then you just tie it up right here on the side so that the card stays put. Right? So cute, you guys. Oh my gosh. It feels so sturdy because there's so many paper layers. Now, what's cool about this little project and the size I use is that if you're using one 12 by 12 piece of paper for the base, you only need the one piece. Like, and you'll still have paper left over even after making your little card topper if you wanted, you know, the front and the back to be the same color. So that's really cool. If you're using 8.5 by 11, you are going to destroy a few pieces of paper for this to work, but pretty cool. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you had fun with this Freeform Friday and learning a little bit about squash cards. Again, you don't need the explosion board for this, but if you have it, it works out. And hopefully I gave you some ideas of how to actually make it. And if you want to make one yourself, a different size, you'll have the idea kind of how to calculate that. But look at that. So cute. Again, pics, stickers, whatever embellishments, you know, go for it. All right, guys, have a great day. I'll see you at the next one. Bye now.